Welcome to KNR Ignite Solutions. Now we are going to learn SAP FICO module in SAP. So for that, let us understand what we have in forward. FICO module is available in two different versions where SAP is providing a various upgrades version to version. With that, what you see now here is a S4 HANA and SAP ECC. ECC stands for ERP Central Component, whereas S4 HANA stands for SAP Business Suite for SAP HANA. Let us understand what is SAP FICO. SAP is one of the ERP systems developed by company SAP itself. So where it is offering various modules to manage entire business resources and operation. For that, business has been divided into various segments, right? For that, SAP also has designed various modules like a functional modules and a technical modules, where all the functional modules will comes handy for you to manage individual businesses, like let's say all the finance functions and your controlling, which is internal reporting purposes. We will use FICO modules, which are one of the functional modules. There is another functional modules which you can look here in this screen what I'm showing it, which is like finance and controlling, which is your FICO, and sales and distribution, material management, production planning, plant maintenance, project systems, HR, FSCM, quality management, logistics, CRM. These are the various functional modules that are available within SAP. And there are technical modules also like ABAP and BASIS, which will support all the functional modules for us to make any changes wherever required. As part of this course, we are going to learn both S4 HANA and ECC, both the versions, which will help you to work easily in any sort of projects that you are going to join. With that, you need to understand ECC support SAP is going to end very soon, but it is a good to know what is ECC module is all about. What are the major changes happened in S4 HANA when compared to ECC as well. Here is a course content that we are going to cover as a part of this course. Let's look into that. What is the course that we have it? This has been majorly divided into a multiple sections, or you call them as a module. The first module which we are going to cover about introduction to ERPs, like what is the need of ERP in any business, advantages of ERP, major ERP packages that are available across the businesses, and introduction to SAP, little bit of history, implementation tools that we use, roles and responsibilities of a FICO consultant, and what are the various types of projects that we have it. This is a high level that we cover in module 1, and when it moves to the second module, we are going to cover about and assign various company and company code, chart of accounts, GL account groups, retained earnings account, fiscal year variant, posting period variant, open and close periods, field status variant, tax procedures, controlling area, document splitting, leading and non-leading ledgers, and consistency check. Until here we call it as a majorly baseline configuration, and there are some more activities then followed by cutover activities like document types, number ranges, exchange rates, profit center and cost center creation. And then we'll go live the system. After the go live, we perform the data migration, and once the data migration happened, then we'll try to run the reports like a GL reports, trial balance, profit and loss account, and balance sheet. Then we'll verify this. We'll look into this so far in module 2. You can look into the module 3 content what we are going to cover here, like your general ledger accounting, where we are going to create a general ledger masters, and also master document entries, posting normal postings with references, and display and change documents, and more related to general ledger accounting. Then moving on to the next module, we have majorly like accounts payable module, where you can see all this, including creation of vendor master records, and also the major part is automatic payment programs. As part of this, we will also understand certain real-time issues, what you can expect, and the real-time challenges whenever we are configuring accounts payable module. Moving on to the next module, we have accounts receivable module, where the major portion will be configuring the master records, including the number ranges and other stuff. Then also we'll look into the tolerance groups wherein all it is required. And also the major portion here, what we need to remember is how we deal with dunning procedures here, and along with the certain real-time issues. Moving on to the next module, you will see FI asset accounting here, particularly where uh, asset accounting itself is a separate submodule in FICO, where you will be dealing with all the fixed assets, where we'll start configuring chart of depreciation and define account determinations with the screen layouts, number ranges for asset classes, and integration with GL and posting roles, where and also creation of asset masters and submasters, and you will see the various depreciation keys that we'll define, and also we'll work with capitalization, depreciation, settlements, and work in progress, AUC, and also certain real-time issues which we are going to deal here. Moving on to the next module, we have FI reports, where particularly you will be running a financial reports, which is one of the important thing for any business, like your GL reports, AP reports, AR reports, and certain real-time issues. Next one, you can see the controlling content that we have listed here, and the next we have cost center accounting, and moving further, SAVO internal orders, and we do have the profit center accounting, what we do, and we have a COPA reportings. Let's get started with a basic navigation, what we do in SAP. This is the screen as soon as you log in, which will land you as a SAP Easy Access screen, which means this is the screen where your business users will be using for their daily routine, where consultants will be using other screen which is called SPRO screen. For now, understand what exactly Easy Access and what is SPRO looks like, and I'm going to help you with the other navigations as well here. Whenever we are navigating, pay attention to the menus, how it is getting changed. Now currently it shows menu, edit, and favorites. Let me enter different transaction code and show you the menu get changed. The left side what we have is a SAP Easy Access screen, and right side we have SPRO screen. If you look into them, both has a different menus when compared to that. SPRO screen is majorly used by SAP consultants for us to configure entire system, where particularly financial accounting, controlling, and the enterprise structure. These are the three things that we'll use it for regular consulting activities, where your business users will not get access to this SPRO menu, whereas they will be using only Easy Access screen for them to enter. This is where you see the differences, right? So clearly you see I'm navigating to a GL posting screen, where this has a right side. If you see that this has a different options like a document, edit, go to extras, and different things. Depending on the screen where we are in, system will provide various options which are relevant to that particular screen. Whenever you wanted to move to a different new screen, or wanted to close the current screen and go back to your Easy Access screen or SPRO menu, directly enter /n, which will take you back to SAP Easy Access, which is a home page kind of thing for you to start with. Whenever you wanted to navigate to any other place, you just need to enter that respective T code directly without /n or /o, which will takes you to the respective transaction code if whenever you enter that transaction code from Easy Access screen. But whenever you are already there in another screen and you wanted to again go to the different screen, where you need to enter /n, otherwise it won't allow you. Enter /nro and enter the transaction code that you wish to move. In this case, /o-f-02 is another transaction code, where I am going to open another screen by not disturbing the existing. Right side you can see the GL accounts screen still remains, and the left side I had opened another screen by opening one more by using /o and followed by the transaction code. Now look into certain fields. Whenever you are on any screen of SAP, there are certain fields are mandatory, certain fields are optional. How do you identify them as a mandatory or an optional? If you look into this, here you see certain fields are with a tick mark, certain fields are with a blanks. Wherever you see the tick marks, they are called mandatory fields. Wherever you see just a blanks, they are an optional fields. In this case, the document is mandatory, which means you need to enter the value before you proceed from this screen to the other screen. Okay, in this case you see that right side option to choose the date option, or either you can enter manually also. For you to enter the right format, make sure you select from the available list, which will be easy for you. In this case you see that format which is a DD, MM, YY, YY, which is separated by dots. When we proceed here, you see some more fields are mandatory which are with a tick mark. Others are like a without any tick mark. They are called optional fields. That which means that system allows you the optional fields without entering any data also. Let us test what happens whenever there is a mandatory fields and you don't enter those values and try to proceed. Either you can click on the tick mark, the green tick mark, or press enter from your keyboard without entering it. So you will get to know what exactly the system throws an error. The first field is a document date. So and the second field that I'm entering as a company code. Either you once you type, which will allow you to choose from there. Then afterwards entering the company code. So they enter the posting date, and once you enter that, there are certain optional fields which I'm not filling in, and if you scroll down further and sorry and you enter the currency here, and either you can choose from the drop down list which is available there. And once we're done with that, and see there is an account which is not saying as a mandatory, but still this is a default by system default, which is a mandatory field. Without that, no journal entry can be posted. Let us see without entering that what kind of error you get it here, right? Press enter, you see this error. It says specify account number. For that, let us enter certain account and proceed further. And see now, once I enter account, it is allowing me to proceed further because I didn't leave any blanks. So let us enter some amount and choose the to account, which is like another credit account that I wanted to enter. Let me choose one of the accounts from here. Once I enter the account, which perfectly allows me move further here. Once we're done with all values, click on simulate or display document here, and you will see a warning message in a yellow color, which means system will allow you such warning messages by pressing enter. If you just simply press enter key one more time, which will proceed to the next screen for you to proceed, which means warning messages always shows in a yellow color, which is not an error but still allows you to proceed further. So there are certain messages which comes like this in a red color, which won't allow you to proceed further without correcting such values. In this case, so one of the values which says account assignment relevant to cost accounting, where you need to enter mandatorily in the screen. For that, go click on a more, which again shows you a warning message, which means allows you to proceed further by simply pressing enter key. Enter that, and if it is really mandatory for that matter, enter that, otherwise proceed. And you choose the respective cost center here, which is a mandatory for this particular screen. Once you enter that, you click on simulate one more time. Now it is perfectly fine. It does not shows you any error message, but just a warning message. It will go away when you press enter. This is the simulation how it looks like, which we call it as an entry view. Then what you will do, for you to see, there are two different views for every journal entry, which is another one is a GL entry view. So you click on a GL entry view, where you can see how it looks like, where system creates automated journal entry, and also click on expert mode to see if there is any further error messages before we post into the system. If it shows no messages, which means system is perfectly fine there where for us to post the journal entry here. Now let us go back from this screen a step back for us to see the entry clearly and post it. Here you see the save option or the post option. Simply click on a control S or a post key, where system will post the document here. You can see the green message here, which means just an information purpose, which gives you a confirmation what the status of the action that we have done. In this case, there is no further action required. In case you required, you can make a note of that message what has been there, and you simply click on that message to display in a larger view, which can give you the complete information. If it is an error message, which will also give you the possible solution and how you can fix it. This is how you can see three different types of messages, and we spoke about the various error messages so far. Now look into a company code creation and transport request, how it looks like. click on new entries in this screen which will shows you to enter a new entries, which means I'm just trying with a test, which means somebody is already created, so it will display the list of entries which is already there. Let me test with xyz1, which doesn't shows, it says no results found, which means not yet created. In this case, try one more examples what I am putting it here. So whenever you enter any code here, and if system says already, it displays if it is already existing. If not, otherwise it shows you like no results found like this. In this case, let's continue with the 2300 what I wanted to try here, which is a company code 2300 as a description, and enter the city, which city that this business belongs to, and country you just need to select as per ISO standard, which is already predefined from the list, and you can't be innovative here. And the currency again similarly will be the same. Here you can see all the country codes. There are around 249 country codes which are given by SAP already as a predefined list. Similarly, currency also which is a standard which you will use it. Language also similarly you will use from this list which is available as per our business requirement. Then click on save to see the further details to enter. In this screen, country is a mandatory, enter country and try to save here. And this is what you call it as a transport request, where you see as a customizing request, which means transport requests are divided into customizing request and a workbench request. Any configuration that we do by default in the system, which is a standard configuration that we are making it here, will be saved under a customizing request. Anything that we are making changes as a part of program related changes, that will be part of your workbench requests. We'll understand this anyway in detail later. At the moment you make any small changes, also it creates a transport request to track all the changes what has been exactly happened. This is all about a transport request, but we'll talk this in detail little later also. Testimonials. Before we talk about the system landscape, I just wanted to give you a quick glance about what our previous students about all these courses says about it. I would recommend you to try this to understand more about it. You can check out here about services. When I say here, go to topmate.io/narsimha underscore ready underscore Kalkari for you to check out what other student says about our classes so far we held. The previous students has given their reviews here, so you are free to check here and take informed decision whether this is going to be helpful for you or not. Once you go to this page, scroll all the way down to the page where you will find the testimonials here, the feedbacks given by various students. So far, out of 86 students who had given this rating, 4.8 rating out of 5. I would I would recommend you to try this to understand more about it. Feel free to pause the video and read through all the comments, or you are free to go to our topmate page and refer to all these comments. Now here comes the most important part of system landscape for us to understand what is system landscape. It is simply a system of SAP which has been divided into a multiple boxes or the servers for us to manage the entire configuration, the production system and the testing purposes. How it has been defined is, the first of all, the system has been divided majorly into development, quality and production, whereas you can see the development has been again subdivided into development 100, development 120 and development 200. So under development, what we will be doing, we'll be doing configurations and testings majorly, and also the quality system is also divided into 100 and 200. Here also we perform certain testings, we'll understand that little later. And finally the production system, where you see development 100 is a modifiable system, development 120 and 200 are non-modifiable. Similarly, quality 100 and 200 is also non-modifiable. Production system is also non-modifiable. Wherever we see that as a non-modifiable, which means we don't do any configuration changes in non-modifiable system. All the configuration has to happen in the modifiable system, which means there's only one system that is a modifiable, which is a development 100. From here we are going to move all the configuration to the other servers for a testing purpose or for a production purposes for that matter. So for us to move or a copy all the configuration from one server to other server, we are going to use a different techniques like copy of transports, which is from within development server from 100 to 200. And whenever we wanted to have that same configuration in a quality system for a testing purposes, what we will do, we will copy that, we will import that to quality system from development using stms underscore import technique, and also similarly to the production as well. Once we done all the proper testings within a development, only then we'll move the configuration into quality system, where we'll perform again different testings like UAT and system integration testings in quality system. Once user provides their acceptance, only then we'll move all this configuration into the production systems.